What the hell is going on with my child's education? What is this new Common Core crap? How does my child with special needs fit into all these assessments?
Well, the amendments to IDEA, Individual Disability Education Act, state that all students need to be held to the same expectations and are required to include all students, even those with disabilities, in the assessments.
Well, I've heard that some states exempt certain groups of students with disabilities from the assessments. If these states can get away with excluding certain students, then why should my child be stressed out with more testing?
You see, the involvement of all children in the school not only promotes full inclusion, but it also helps accurately reflect the achievement levels in the school and the entire district.
With this implementation, and from the standpoint of a primary educator, are you saying that schools will have less incentive to improve education for these students whose scores you are saying don't actually count?
Yes, but I need to clarify this. The teachers are being held accountable for students' achievements based on these assessments. Therefore, many teachers in the past, before these amendments were made, had students who were not required to take the tests. The problem with this scenario is that many teachers failed to promote an inclusive learning environment for students whose scores were not reflected in their professional growth assessments. So, some unfortunately might not feel inclined to provide adequate education to these students since their scores essentially wouldn't count.
Okay, I guess I understand the reasoning. So how does the No Child Left Behind Act fit into all of this?
No Child Left Behind is creating general curriculum for everyone. It is essentially one size fits all.
One size fits all? How does this work for students who need modifications and accommodations?
No Child Left Behind, as of 2004, holds students accountable at their actual grade level, not at their skill level.
That's not what I was asking.
Wait now, I can actually help clarify this. To be clear, you do know that there is a major difference between accommodations and modifications. Accommodations don't actually change the content that is being taught, reduce learning, or achievement expectations. A simple explanation is that accommodations provide a different path to the same goal, but modifications actually alter the core content standard or the performance expectation.
They sound the same to me. What is the actual difference?
Let me give you some examples. Accommodations could be extended time, different presentations of the questions, a separate setting like a testing room, equipment and materials, calculator use, microphones for students with hearing impairments, and methods of response, such as verbal or using a scribe. Modifications change the goal completely. So if your child is at a 3rd grade reading level in the 5th grade, a modification would be a different text than expected for students at the 5th grade reading level, rather than one-on-one assistance, for example.
But what about the controversial read-alouds in the English learning classroom? Those are modifications. How can you check for reading comprehension with a student who is visually impaired whether modifications of read-alouds allows them to hear the story instead of reading it?
This is a great point. It is one of the unsolved controversies that I doubt we have time to explore right now, but there is universal design.
The Smarter Balanced Assessment Consortium and the Partnership for Assessment of Readiness for College and Careers are currently building their tests according to the principles of universal design, which incorporates students' special needs from the beginning rather than making a test that must be retrofitted.
They're building in tactile graphics, closed captioning, text-to-speech readers, and pop-up glossaries that display translations.
There is even computer adaptive tests, which accommodate students at their actual skill level by creating custom tests based on their answers to prior test questions.
How does a computer system make accurate judgments? Is that really reliable?
Again, that is another great controversy that many researchers are attempting to solve. But my question is to the government official. How do any of these scores affect our school systems?
Well, with recent amendments to the IDEA, school systems are required to disaggregate as well as aggregate test scores of students with disabilities.
So, aggregating students is like inclusion. All students will be given equal weight when evaluating the effectiveness of public school systems. On the other hand, disaggregating pulls the test scores apart in order for us to analyze the improvements specifically to students with disabilities in order to hold schools accountable.
Aren't they being held accountable in the aggregated results? Why do you aggregate and then essentially segregate them?
My recommendation in regards to the assessment of students with disabilities is the distribution of decision-making from schools to include more parental involvement in deciding between general and alternate assessments, along with the modifications and accommodations.
What are general and alternative assessments?
General assessments are like traditional assessments, such as the new Common Core tests, region exams, or other standardized tests. Basically, the original tests created for the curriculum. Alternative assessments are actually formed using the same standards as the general assessments, but differentiated based on the achievement levels of students.
But don't forget the legislation. There is a 2% percentage gap on how many students can be held to the different achievement levels. This was mandated in 2007 with no child left behind.
What? How does that make sense?
My thoughts exactly. How do you make a square fit into a circle? 6% of students have cognitive disability. 2%? What happens to the other 4%?
I bet this is another one of those controversies.